Hi, dear ones. Nadia here. And it is Sunday Healing Connection time. Welcome home. Welcome to a space that is safe and judgment-free. Home is within you, shares my story of recovery over many years. From trauma and addiction, I was buried in shame and shaming. And after a ton of hard work, I came to a space within me where there is clarity, calm, warmth, and that I can run to at any time, any day. Sit, connect to it, and become more aware of my own attack thoughts on self, as well as that projected by others. It was a long road of recovery, and I offer here on Sundays a safe and judgment-free space that is so hard to find sometimes. So if you are struggling, please reach out and please let me know, and I can hold space for you. Last week's theme was that we have a grand choice whether or not to hold grievances or to find reconciliation within oneself to perhaps begin reconciliation with others. Whether there were steps for personal reconciliation or that with others, please know that it must always begin within ourselves. Reconciliation with self provides such freedom and lifts the load, where we then can fortify our fortress. So this week's theme is about strengthening our shelter. It's about fortifying our circle of protection and keeping sacred and safe our small, intimate circle. I talked about grievances and reconciliation with my spiritual mentor. I love her so much, Priya Jane. On last Friday's Spiritual Advocacy, we had a long discussion about grievances and about how they actually are attachments. That when we hold a grievance, especially if we are not in relations with a person we hold a grievance against, we expend energy in a wasted manner. And actually, that affects what is drawn to us. The best sign of whether or not somebody has done the inner work is if they constantly are blaming and shaming others. They are caught in an attachment. And you see, essentially when we do that, we are feeling a hole within that our soul is longing. It's longing to be in that. It's longing to be heard. It's longing to fill us overwhelmingly. But our mind has taken over. An ego mind will say, aha, I got you. The soul completely blocked out. When negativity is being shot at us by another, they are choosing fear and judgment over love of self and over love of others. If we take a few moments every day to breathe and bow our minds to something beyond us, we can become more aware of our attack thoughts. Reconciliation with self and others can happen. However, this week is about when grievances are being shot at us. What can we do to fortify our fortress, to stay safe within ourselves, and to ban all of that dark energy? Creating shelter. What does that word evoke in you? If you look it up as a noun, it is defined as a place giving temporary protection from something or someone harmful or dangerous. It can be weather or a person. As a verb, to shelter is to protect or shield from the same. And so as we enter this week, how is your shelter doing? How is that umbrella around you feeling? What energy is it giving you? For when we keep that circle and that umbrella close-knit, tight, and we watch it gently with an eagle's eye, we can create an aura around us that detracts the negativity. And the beauty of it is only warmth and love are drawn our way. And we get to choose whom or what we allow within the circle. I have seen miracles in my life. Miracles in my life. I worked long and hard to create healthy boundaries, to create a safe life free from outside sources of shaming. And I surprised myself by getting into a situation that ended up being, while physically separated, a source of vehement, dark arrows shot my way, simply because I was a good person. So what do I mean by all of that? Sometimes others are still stuck in their ways. All we can do is stay away. Yet shaming by others can still touch our hearts. It can still hurt. It comes in forms of chaotic, cruel words, questioning others about whereabouts, bizarre accusations, and all sorts of madness like obsessive online searching. Sad, sad indication of an attachment and an ego mind just completely running a person to the ground. And so when it becomes impossible to completely not interact at all with an individual due to circumstances or the situation, and I'm being vague on purpose, there are so many things that we can do to have a cushion, a shelter around us, so that the cruel words and the shaming don't cut such a deep wound. When they do, they are opportunities to tap into the hurt, to heal our own core wounds, to take our own time. So what do I do? What do I do to keep my shelter fortified? How are you keeping your circle tidy? We can be cautious about who we allow into our community circle, no. Our familial circle, not so much. Our friendship circle, yes. Our intimate circle, absolutely. We always must strive to listen to our gut instincts. I have a bad habit of giving people the benefit of the doubt, because I know that everybody is whole, perfect, and complete in their infinite self. I know that when people are cruel and mean or standoffish, I'm sure that you can give many examples. Perhaps we interpret their acts or words incorrectly. Yet really, anything anybody does is either an act of love or a cry for love. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt in the sense that when they are cruel or mean, they're crying for love. And those acts and those words are coming from their own fears and judgments and inability to observe their mind. We can do that, yet there is a boundary. When we have seen the way that others treat their family, treat strangers, that gives you a good indication as to whether they're your kind of people that would model to your children how to live a life. Another indication is if they blame and shame others. They're most certainly going to do that to you someday too. Now we respond lovingly. We observe, we don't judge, we just take note. If they are in a recovery program or practice some sort of meditation, there's a strong indication, 50% that they may do some sort of personal inventory, some sort of meditation, some sort of commitment to checking themselves in their mind. Now, my main message always is to choose love over fear and judgment. So as we are doing these quote-unquote assessments and incorporating our choice, using an empowered choice about whether we will let somebody closer into our lives, we must be cautious of judgment, yet not cautious with protection. Our instincts are right on and strong. We can recognize when it is a trauma response and it is an overreaction. In fact, if that happens, you should be able to safely share that with another. If you are not able to safely share that, that's a strong indication that somebody should not be allowed into your circle. Follow your instincts. They were there for sure, and I ignored them. Yes, give the benefit of the doubt, but not at the cost of that core intuition and instinct. And follow your heart. One of the most loving things that you can do is to put a wall between you and somebody else. One of the most loving things that we can do is to be polite and not let them in anymore. You will save energy, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So as last week's theme was taking steps to relieve grievances, the overall message was also attempt reconciliation within yourself, attempt reconciliation with others only if it is safe, and this week, fortifying our fortress, our shelter, so that those instincts are always, always heard. When we set aside time every day to go within, fears subside, judgments are banned, and we only see everything through love. Loving ourselves is protecting ourselves from any darkness that is shot our way by others. And the very, very cool full circle experience is that light and warmth and loving, good people are drawn in, and our Creator and the Infinite bring only those your way. I promise you, that's what happens. I know this to be true. A second thing that I do is I listen to a mantra. When we are feeling any darkness, any cruelty, any internal judgment and shaming, there is a mantra in Kundalini Yoga, and it is called, or the words are, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Dev Name. This is an extremely powerful mantra that is used for protection, for clarity, and to receive guidance from one's true self and the infinite. This is used in all tune-ins in Kundalini Yoga, yet I often like to sing this mantra, and I'll put my arms around me, Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Guru Dev Name, as though I am protecting this aura around me. I'm going to play this mantra for you now, and I'll send this out to you. Play it in your car, download it. I'll include it in my comments, a link. It is a beautiful mantra. And it may be that, you get in the car tomorrow morning and you're going to the office, kind of trying to get it on to walk into the office, lock eyes with the staff that's there. Or maybe it's prior to picking up a phone call. Maybe it's after an interaction wherein an arrow was shot your way and your heart is processing the hurt. Maybe you're beating yourself up. Play this mantra and know that the love that you are, the warmth that you are, right here within, is emanating out in a circle of an auric field. That will protect you and nurture you. We can fortify our shelter. It's always healthy to gauge whether there are holes, what needs to be strengthened, what instincts we may be ignoring. As I play this mantra, I will light some incense. This is by Naranjan Kaur. Please send me a message and let me know how you're doing. It's really good to see the regulars here. Mary Beth, Tony. Satguru Name, Sri Guru Dev Name, Adguru Name, Jugat Guru Name, Satguru Name, Sri Guru Dev Name, Guru Name. I'm sending this protective energy out to you. Sri Guru Dev Name, Jugat Guru Name. I will include this mantra in the comments. I encourage you to look out for this week's postings, sharing more tools that I use to keep my circle very safe and warm and free of anybody's darkness and shaming. To join me on Thursdays, 10 a.m. Kundalini Yoga, and on Friday at noon. Let's fortify and keep our shelter and fortresses strong. I'm sending love and warmth to you always. Okay? Satnam.